Hello everyone and welcome to the Selenium Python framework series. In this particular session, we will learn to implement the screenshot utility. So let's begin. So when you're working on the framework, so basically in your project, you might need to take the screenshot in case of the failure. And the best approach is that you should create a utility for a screenshot and use that. And let me show you how you can do this. Simply go here and create new Python file and name it as screenshot utility. Screenshot underscore utility and press enter. Now, when we talk about the utility, what we need to do is that we need to create a folder where we have all those screenshots. So when we are creating the function, so basically we need to provide this information where we need to create a folder, with what name we need to create a folder, and when we are saving a screenshot, so obviously we need to name this one. And the best practice is that the name of the file should be unique. So basically, when we are doing or working on the real-time project, we need a timestamp with the screenshot so that we can understand that at what point of time this happened. So the first thing is that we need to import the OS because we have to create a folder, and we need to import a date time so that we can have a date time with our file name. So from date time import date time, and now what we need to do is that let's create a function and let me name it as take underscore screenshot, and it requires basically a driver and name equals to screenshot. And now what this function will do, basically it will take a screenshot, and again we need a folder, so I will say folder is equals to screenshots. And when we are building a logic, so in case sometimes your folder might not exist, so what we'll do is that we'll say that okay, if the folder does not exist, create a folder, if with the if condition. Okay, if not os dot path dot access, and we are talking about this folder one, we are actually referring this one if there's no folder with this one. Okay, and then we say okay, os dot, there is make directory, make directories, and we need to give a folder here. So here basically we are referring to this screenshot. We are saying that if the screenshot folder is not there, just create a folder with the name of screenshots. Now once we have this thing, so what we need is that we need a timestamp thing. So time stamp is equals to date time dot now. So now we'll give you a current time and date, and then we need some string formatting. So dot strftime. So this is basically a format for formatting, and whatever the format you want. So basically, usually what I do is that I'll just go with percent year, then percent month, percent day. So and underscore, basically I need then percent r, percent month, and percent second. So basically I'm just formatting a time, I'm getting the current time and formatting this in this particular format. And once I have this format over here, so now file path equals to f literal, and here I need folder name, then forward slash, then we need a name, and this is the name. Okay, and what I need is that underscore time stem dot png. So basically, when we are getting a file, so this folder will give us a screenshot, then the name is basically a screenshot, and the type is basically this would be eventually a name of your screenshot file. So once you have a formatted time, you have file name, now you have created a directory. So what we need to do is that we need to save the screenshot. So driver dot save underscore screenshot, and what we need to save, we need this file path to save. Basically we are saving the file, right? And then just give a print statement with the f literal, and we say the screenshot saved. And for the reference, what we will do is that we are just passing this file path over here, file path. Now we have created our utility, and our best practice is that it should create a screenshot when the tests fail. So we need to check after every test. Okay, and when we are using the pytest, so basically we need to utilize the concept of the hooks. So the hook will basically runs after every test. It will check if the test failed, gets the browser driver, and then takes a screenshot with the test name. Okay, so for that we need to go to this contest file, and here what we need to do is that we need to create a pytest hook over here, and simply we say add pytest dot hook implementation, and here hook wrapper equals to true. Hook wrapper is equals to true. And now let's create a function. Let me name it as pytest underscore run test underscore make report, and we need to pass item. And now basically we need to take a screenshot only on the test failure. So basically we need to wait for the outcome of the test. So we were asking this particular function to wait for the outcome, so yields, and then report is equals to outcome dot get underscore results. So they are basically getting the test results. So we need to identify which test got failed. So we need to yield the outcome. We need to get the results from that outcome so that we know which test got failed or which test got passed. So once we have this, now put a condition if report dot when is equals to call and report dot failed, then if this is a failed, so basically then driver equals to item dot function args dot get driver, and then another thing. So if we are getting a failed, driver is getting a failed, so what we need to do is that we say if not here on the next step, if driver then take underscore screenshot. And you see that this is coming from the utility we just created here, this one. So we need this from here, right? Take the screenshot and say driver, then F literal, and then we say failed underscore item underscore name. Item dot name. And here we are getting some error over here because what we need is that we need to fix this part. And basically, in order to fix this one, we actually need to import this one here. And now once you have imported this one, you see that there's no error over here. Now what I'll do is simply let me create an assertion which should fail so that we can see how this utility is working. So if I go here and here, let me create a simple assertion. Assert, for example, I'm just giving a random thing over here, wrong underscore URL and driver dot current URL. So basically in current URL, I'm trying to assert out something random and obviously it should fail in this case. And I'm just printing a message, login, fail if this assertion fails. And I'll say URL does not match. So when I execute this one, obviously we will not get this thing into the URL and this will assertion fail automatically. Now let's run this one and see what happens over here. So simply we'll say pytest tests folder. Inside that we have this test underscore login dot py dash verbose and press enter. So this should fail and it should take a screenshot because this is getting failed. And here you see that our test got failed because this assertion failed. And here you see that it created a screenshot folder. Inside that we have this particular image which after the failure of the assertion got captured. And here you see that fail underscore test underscore login, we are getting a proper date and time format which we have mentioned in our utility. So let me show you the utility again. So this part basically, this part. So I hope you now understood how we created the screenshot utility and how we can use that in our framework.